Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 replay. Still on the Friday, June 26th date, game number 493 overall. It is the California Angels taking on the Chicago White Sox from Comiskey Park. Comiskey Park, pretty much symmetrical. Singles are 1 to 9, both sides of the plate. Home runs 1 to 4, both sides of the plate. Pitching matchup, Jerry Royce, left-hander for California, against Jose DeLeon, a right-hander for the White Sox. California comes in 37 and 35 in second place in the American League West, but since Oakland already won their game against Cleveland yesterday, then that means California's got to win to hold serve and try to keep pace. Chicago at 31 and 37. No, Philip, I'm not going anywhere. Nope. It's not my thing. But for those that want to go, have at it and have fun. Hope you all have fun. But it's just not my deal. All right. So DeLeon has a +4 on his hold when he combines with the catcher Fisk. And Royce, exact opposite. He's got a -4. So California might be able to slow down Chicago's running game. Don't know if Chicago will do the same against California. Although, except for maybe Pettis and McLemore, I don't know if there'll be a whole lot of running on the California side. A couple of roster moves, one for each team. Jack Fimple, a backup catcher, was sent back to the minors, and Butch Weiniger is back. He is the backup catcher for the California Angels, Butch Weiniger. Tim Hewlett is apparently injured. I don't think he was sent to the minors. I think he's just injured. And Steve Lyons has been brought back for the Chicago White Sox, so he's on the roster. All other roster moves are the same. Let's look at Jose DeLeon on the real world versus his replay. Jose DeLeon, 11 and 12 with a 4.02 ERA. And on the replay, he is 6 and 7 with a 4.90 ERA, 94 innings pitched, 91 hits, 46 walks, 84 strikeouts. And leading things off for the California Angels will be designated hitter Brian Downing. Downing hitting .320 on the replay, 18 homers, 52 driven in. He at .272 on the real season. And before the first pitch, of course, we have the ceremonial first sip, which has become tradition. Ceremonial first sip. Let's see if I can get a little closer here. Make sure that the dice don't get cut off. Nope, we can still see them. Okay. All right, so I think we're good to go here. Hello, Dr. D. Ooh, I'm not on the disabled list, but I am certainly day to day. This cold is kicking my butt, making it very hard to breathe sometimes, or a pain to breathe. Not a pain, but inconvenient. Usually breathing is supposed to be involuntary, but you got a stuffed up nose like this. It's kind of taking my mind off my ring finger, though. I mean, my trigger finger, though. So I guess you get some benefit out of that. All right, here's Brian Downing against DeLeon. 4-2, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Ozzie Guillen. He's a 2E21. 2 and a 17, he'll get to that. E21 and a 13 for a shortstop. E21, there's a 6, 15, and 17, no 13. So it is a good play for Ozzie Guillen. He makes the play, and there is one away to start the ball game. That'll bring up Rupert Jones getting a rare start today. Devon White is on the roster, but just getting the day off. So Devon White is off, so Rupert Jones will be in left field. For this one, Rupert Jones hitting .217 on the replay. 4 homers, 8 driven in. He at .245 real world. 6-3 to the lefty is a ground ball first base C, so Greg Walker will get it. Flip to DeLeon covering. And quickly 2 away for Wally World, Wally Joyner. Joyner hitting .311 on the replay. 18 homers, 48 driven in. He at .285 real world. Or was it .295? Let me see. Yeah, .285 real world. It's a 4-11, and that's going to be a ground ball first base X. We're going to first baseman Walker. He's a 3E10. 3 and a 3, that's trouble, but he wouldn't hold anybody on, so he might still get to it. 3 and a 3, no, he does not. That's going to be a single. That's an 8. I don't think there's going to be an error there, but we'll double check it. A 10. No, there's no 8 there, but it's going to get by him for a base hit. So Wally Joyner sneaks one past Greg Walker. 2-out single, but Joyner not much of a threat to run, so he won't go anywhere. Or will he? Let's look at this. DeLeon is a +4. The lead, he's almost guaranteed to get it, but he needs a 5. So we'll go ahead and try it. See if we can get the lead. Can't get the lead, so it's a moot point anyway. All right, Doug DeSensei also getting the day off, and Jack Howell, who plays a lot of left field, is playing third base in this one. Howell. And let me hit the mute button real quick while I cough. Thank goodness for the mute button. Howell is hitting 274 on the replay, 8 homers, 23 driven in. He at 245 real world. 4-9, and that's going to be a 1-4 triple. But that's a single 2 stars, and that'll put runners on the corner. So a 2-out rally by the Angels, and they've got something cooking. And now it's a clutch situation for Mr. Mark Ryle, who is in right field. Ryle hitting 240 on the replay, 6 homers, 16 driven in. He at 200 real world. He's already got 6 home runs. He only had 5 real world. He's only had 50 at-bats in the replay, at 100 at-bats real world. So in half of his at-bats, he's already exceeded his home run total. That's where some of these guys, their home runs run hot. 6-7, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So DeLeon has managed to really get himself into hot water here. Bases loaded. 2 down. And that's going to bring up the veteran Bob Boone in a clutch situation again for Boone. Boone in the clutch against a right-hander loses a hit on 3-8 and 212. Boone on the replay hitting 237, a homer and 10 driven in. He at 242 real world. 110 for Boone. He pops it up to third, and they will leave him loaded. So DeLeon pitches around all sorts of mess. And the bottom line is the Angels have 0 on the scoreboard. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is California nothing, and the White Sox coming to bat. Here on this Wednesday in the real world, Friday on the 87 play. Tomorrow is Milwaukee and Toronto from Milwaukee, and Friday will be Minnesota at Texas. Those will be the last 2 games to finish out the week. Baltimore, Detroit, and Seattle, KC will be played offline. All right, so Jerry Royce is the pitcher. And I believe he was a recent acquisition because he's only had 1 start so far. But on the 87 replay for California, he checks in at 4-5 with an ERA of 5.25. On the replay, he's only, like I said, only had 1 start. He's 0-0. 1.29 ERA. He's gone 7 innings, given up 1 run, apparently. 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So obviously very short sample size to judge anything by. And Jerry Royster for the White Sox will lead it off. Royster hitting 252 on the replay. 3 homers, 9 driven in. He hit 265 real world. So certainly 252 on the replay is not bad. 3-7. It's a single and a 1-5, but that's a 20. He will line it to Schofield. And there's 1 away. Here's Gary Reedus. Reedus is hitting really well. Not so, I should take that back. Reedus is hitting about what he should be hitting. He's hitting 242 on the replay, 4 homers, 13 driven in. He hit 236 real world. When I first looked at it, I thought it said 342, which was definitely wrong. So Reedus against Royce, and that's a 3-7, and that's going to be a fly to center field. Good morning, Mr. Little. Hope you are doing well. And just for you, Mr. Little, my Bermanism for this guy right here. Gary, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So there you go. There's my Chris Bermanism for Mr. Reedus. Here's Harold Varicose Veins, another one. Varicose. He probably had varicose veins when he played because he was slow as all it can be. 268 on the average, 3 homers, 24 driven in. Hit 293 real world. Lefty. 6'10", and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Schofield, 2E12. 2E12, 2 and an 8. 2 and an 8 is going to be probably okay, I would think. Yep, G2, that's not a problem. That's an 11, and Schofield is an E12 at short. E12, there's a 15 there, but no 11, so good play for Schofield. And the White Sox go in order. So nothing doing for either side. We go to the top of the second, no score from Comiskey Park. Here on this Friday, June 26, 1987. Of course, coming up on channel tomorrow will be Toronto host at Milwaukee, I should say. Jimmy Key going for, I think, his league-leading 15th win against Bill Wegman. So the top two teams in the American League East will be fighting it out. On Friday, it'll be Minnesota at Texas. Then on Saturday, we'll have a double shot on Saturday. Saturday, we will have the NBC Game of the Week and Fall Classic. And then we'll have the third round of the Pebble Beach Classic on History Maker Golf. On Sunday, we'll have Sunday Basic Sunday, 1962 Basic Strat-O-Matic. And also on Sunday, the final round of the Pebble Beach. It's called a Pro-Am, but there are no AMs in this. It's just all pros. And that's what we'll have for the week. So I'll record some of that. A lot of stuff will be recorded ahead of time. The only one that'll be live is the NBC Game of the Week. All the other stuff's going to be recorded. So I've got some recording to do between now and Saturday. But it's all in fun. I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. All right, Dick Schofield, 225 average, 5 homers, 26 driven in. He had 251 real world. And, of course, being retired helps. And I know Mr. Little is counting down the days for his retirement. 2-5, and that's going to be a pop out to second base. I've been retired almost a year, and I have yet to have one day of being bored. So if people say, oh, you're retired, you're going to get bored, I don't buy it. Don't buy it at all. All right, here's Gary Pettis, 222 average, no homers, 24 driven in on the replay, 208 real world. That's a 210 for Pettis, and he struck him out. First strikeout by DeLeon. And let me hit the mute button again so you don't hear my cough, because the cough is coming on. Thank goodness for the mute button, is all I can say. All right, so first strikeout for DeLeon. Hopefully by this weekend, this cold will be almost gone, hopefully. Here's McLemore hitting 274 on the replay. 3 homers, 23 driven in. He hit 236 real world. 5-7, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. We're back to Guillen again, 2E21. 2 and a 20 is good all day long. That's a 12. And on the E21, shortstop errors, 6-15 and 17 are the only errors, so 12 is just fine. And that'll take care of the Angels here in the second. Go to the bottom of the second. Jerry Royce back out. Will face Greg Walker, Von Calderon, and Carlton Fisk to start the top of the second. And Mr. Walker, lefty on lefty matchup. He's hitting 220 on the replay. A little bit of struggling for him. He had 256 real world. He's got 4 homers, 25 runs driven in the replay. Lefty-lefty matchup, 110. That's a solid double. There is no D20 needed on that one. That's just a solid double for Greg Walker. White Sox have something cooking with nobody out. And here's Von Calderon. Calderon, that's a 2, so a chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball chance on Bob Boone, which is a 3. And there's no pass ball. So here's Calderon. He's hitting 271 on the replay. 7 homers, 23 driven in. Hit 293 real world. 2-7 against the left-hander. Struck him out. First strikeout for Royce. Calderon fails. He at least needed to move the runner to third. That's baseball 101. You got to get that runner to third with less than 2 outs, and he didn't do it. So here's Carlton Fisk. Fisk hitting 83 on the replay, 7 homers, 25 driven in at 256 real world. Another 2, another chance of a ball for a pass ball. And another pass ball check on Boone. And Boone blocks it again. 3-11, and that's going to be a line out to third plus injury for Carlton Fisk. So Fisk, we'll have to check it. He may have to come out of this game. Carlton Fisk, a 3-11 against left-handers is a line out to third plus injury. If he has to come out, the backup catcher for the Angels, for the White Sox, the backup catcher for the White Sox is Ron Karkovice, and he would come in to catch, but a 1-6, and he can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. And he's coming out, so Fisk is done for the day. Since I'm doing as played, it will only be a game day injury. It won't be for the whole season or any length of time. But we're going to have Karkovice. Karkovice will come in and catch in the second inning. Going to catch in the second inning. So Karkovice. All right, so now Ken Williams in a clutch situation. And in the clutch against lefties, he loses a hit 2-6. Everywhere else he appears to be neutral. Ken Williams on the replay has been struggling. He's hitting 208, 2 homers, 10 driven in. He had 281 real world. That's a 3-3, and that's a ground ball to short, and that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the White Sox. Plus they lose their one of their captains in Carlton Fisk. And now on the Strat-O-Matic computer, I need to go in and bring in Ron Karkovice. Now, if he comes up injured, I'll ignore it because you got to have a catcher. So I'm not going to double penalize. This is not Demolition League. I'm not going to penalize a team and have them go without a catcher. So I will, curb it there at some point. All right, so no score, top of the third. Back to the top of the order for the Angels would be Downing, Jones, and Joyner against Jose DeLeon. Downing grounded to short his first trip. 4-12 against the right-handers. Ground ball right back to DeLeon. Easy play, 1 away. I was expecting a higher scoring game, but we still got 7 innings to go, so anything can happen. Here is Rupert Jones. 3-6 for Jones, and he flies to center field. 2 up, 2 down for Wally World. Joyner singled his first time up, but was stranded at third base as the Angels left the bases loaded in the first inning. 1-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Easy play for Donnie Hill. 3 up, 3 down go the Angels. Looks like both teams forgot to bring their bats with them. Or either the cagey pitching is just too good. Here's Jerry Royce. Back out will face Donnie Hill, Ozzie Guillen, and Jerry Royster. Bottom of the third, no score from Comiskey. Donnie Hill hitting 192 on the replay, 2 homers, 18 driven in. He hit 239 real world. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 6-12. Ground ball right back to Royce. Easy play. 1 down for the 9th place hitter, Ozzie Guillen. Guillen hitting 269 on the replay. A homer, 27 driven in. He hit 279 real world. That's a 3-6 for Guillen, and that's a ground ball to third. Jack Howell makes the play, 2 down. And we're back to the top of the order for Jerry Royster. Royster lined out to Schofield his first trip. 3-6, and he will get a solid double here. No question about that. That's clean. A clean double. 2-out double for Jerry Royster. Both hits for the White Sox have been doubles, but they don't take advantage of the 2 doubles. Reedus is up with the clutch situation going. He loses a hit on 110, and that appears to be it. Reedus in the clutch. He flew to center his first time up. 1-8, and he will draw the base on balls, so he will pass the baton to Harold Baines. And for Royce, that is his first walk to go with 1 strikeout. And now we have the lefty DH, Harold Baines, in the clutch, and he gained some hits in the clutch. Column 1 is loaded with hits. This turns into a hit on 1-4, 111, and 112. And also on 2-9, 3-3, and 3-5. So he gains 6 clutch hits. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get 6 clutch hits on their card in a clutch situation, but Harold Baines, maybe Strat knew about this Hall of Fame stuff. But he gets 6 extra hits. 1-6, though, he found a strikeout, so that didn't help him any. And that will end the inning. Royce said, you can be as clutch as you want. I don't care. I am going to have you grab some bench, as some White Sox announcer might have said at one point. Top of the 4th we go. Still zip on the scoreboard. And Jack Howell steps to the plate. He sings his first time up. 3-7, and that's a single. 1-11. That's a 5. So base hit for Jack. Sorry about that. I didn't hit the mute button fast enough. My cough beat me to it. Sometimes that stuff's involuntary. You can't help it. So but we will persevere. Jack Howell, leadoff single. Here's Mark Ryle. Howell not trying to run or take any leads or anything. 1-6, and that's a ground ball first base A. That's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. Not a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play, but it's 2 outs nonetheless. As that's turned by Walker and Guillen. 3-6-3 DP. Pitcher's best friend. 2 quick outs, and here's Bob Boone. 5-6, that's a strikeout for DeLeon, and that is his second. 4 shutout innings for Jose DeLeon. Bottom of the 4th we go, still zeros on the scoreboard. Jerry Royce back out. We'll face we'll face Walker, Calderon, and Fisk. Walker doubled his first time up. 6-9. 6-9 is a split. 1-4 is a single, but that's going to be a line out to McLemore at second base, 1 away. So if you came here looking for offense, you might be at the wrong game. I don't know. We still got 5 innings or so to go, so anything can happen. But right now they're on a slow start. Here's Calderon, 1-5. As soon as I say that, Calderon cracks a home run. No doubt about it. That was the kiss of death right there, I guess. There's Ivan Calderon, close up and personal on this home run. 1-5, left-handed, against left-handed pitching. Is a clean home run, no D20 needed on the 1-5. So Calderon cracks a home run and breaks the scoring drought. Sox lead 1-0. Home run for Calderon. Oops. On the replay, that is his 8th home run. He's one of the few guys that's kind of behind his pace on home runs. Most of the guys are above their pace, but he's behind. That's his 8th home run. He actually hit 28 of them real world, so he's definitely behind. Home run number 8, RBI number 24. So Calderon breaks the seal on the scoring. And here is Ron Karkovice, the new catcher since coming in for the injured Fisk. Karkovice hitting an astounding 151 on the replay, 2 homers, 8 driven in. He only hit 071 real world. On his card, he has no hits. Any hit he gets has to come off the pitcher. And he gets it off the pitcher, 5-7. But it'll be a ground ball second base X, so McLemore, 2E22. But it's a 2 and a 1, so he's going to get a hit. How about that? Karkovice taking advantage of the double died 1 for a base hit. E22 and an 11, I don't think is going to be a problem. It is not. 12's an error, not an 11. So it's a base hit for Karkovice. Had to get the base hit off of the pitcher card, and he did. Here's Ken Williams. 6-9 against Royce. That's a pop out to short. Schofield is there, 2 down. And that'll take us to Donnie Hill, switch hitting second baseman. Slow running Karkovice at first base. Actually, not that slow. Look at that. He's got an asterisk here. But Royce has a -4 hold, so we're not gonna mess with that. Here's Donnie Hill. 2-6, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. White Sox finally break through. Home run from Ivan Calderon did it. At the end of 4, it is Chicago 1 and California nothing. And they turn that lead over to Jose DeLeon. And DeLeon will be facing bottom of the order, Schofield, Pettis, and McLemore. Dick Schofield popped up to second his first time. 1-6, and that's going to be against a right-hander, a ground ball to short, and also against a left-hander, ground ball to short. So he was grounding to short regardless. Guillen makes the play, 1 away. Here's Gary Pettis, the speedster, but he's got to get on base. Struck out his first chance. 1-12, and that's going to be a solid single for Pettis, so he'll be definitely looking to run. With that +4 from DeLeon making it extra juicy. So Pettis needs a 5 or a 6 to get a good lead. Doesn't get it, so he's going to have to hold. Here's McLemore. 3-7 for McLemore, struck him out. Third strikeout for DeLeon. And now that sends up Brian Downing, who's 0 for 2. 2, chance for a Balker pass ball. I got a pass ball on Karkovice, so now I got to go to the computer and get his pass ball rating because it's not on the card. Pass ball rating on Karkovice, they rate him as a 4. He's a 4 for a pass ball. And 5, he just did avoid it. So nice block by Karkovice. Kept that in front of him. And here's Brian Downing. 5-9, and he's going to ground it to second. An easy play for Donnie Hill, and the Angels are gone in the 5th. So if the Angels want to catch the Oakland A's, they better start hitting. They're looking to lose ground. Jerry Royce, this is his fatigue inning. He has a fatigue inning number of 5, and we are at the bottom of the 5th, so keep an eye on his fatigue. Guillen will be the leadoff hitter, number 9 man. Ozzie Guillen. 5-11. That's a ballpark single check. First time going to the ballpark. That's a 12. Singles only 1 to 9, so that will be an out. He will line it to second. 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Jerry Royster. Doubled his last time up. 5-5 against Royce, and that's a home run chance on a 1. Anything else, 2 to 20 is a double. So Jerry Royce, his second double of the game. And here come the White Sox looking to add more to their lead. Reedus, 0 for 1, stepping to the plate. 4-6, and that's going to be a single to right field. Right field, Ryle is a -1 arm. So I think with 1 out, man, do they send him or not? Royster was being held, makes him a 12. And then he was not being held, makes him a 14 because he's on second base. I don't hold guys at second base. So that's a 14, but then the -1's a 13. If they throw through, Reedus will take second. 1 to 13, we're going to send him. 1 to 13, we're going to send, the White Sox are going to send the lead runner. That means Reedus will take second on the throw regardless of what happens. Assuming the Angels throw to the plate, which I would think they would since it's only a 1 to 13. They're still, 14 through 20 to get him. So with 1 out, they're going to throw through, and Reedus will take second base. So 1 to 13, he's safe, and he's in there. RBI single from Reedus, and he takes second on the throw home. White Sox lead it 2-0. It's one of the things when you manage against yourself, you kind of have to weigh both sides and figure out what would they do real world. And you try to replicate that as much as possible. So that's 2 hits in a run this inning. So 1 more base runner, and Royce will be fatigued. Bullpen activity has started for the Angels. Dwayne Bice, the right-hander, is loosening. Here is Baines, lefty-lefty. 5-7. That's a single 2 stars, and the 2 stars is going to score Reedus from second base. 3-0 White Sox, and that may be the end just about for Jerry Royce. Royce has now reached fatigue. They will let him pitch to the lefty Walker, and that's going to be his last batter since it is a lefty-lefty matchup. That's a 1, so Royce wild pitch is a 7. No wild pitch. 6-4, and that's a catcher X, so we're looking at Boone, who's a 1E14. 1-11 for a catcher. See if that causes any problems. A 1 and an 11 is going to be a straight up pop out. That's an 11, and he is an E14. There's a 12 there, but no 11. So Boone able to make the play. So a pop out for out number 2. But with Calderon coming up and Calderon homered off Royce's last time up, that will be it for Jerry Royce. Jerry Royce's day is done. He's going to go 4 2/3 innings. And he is going to give up 7 hits and so far 3 runs, but he is responsible for Baines. Let's see about his walks. He only walked 1, and he struck out 2. And Dwayne Miami Bice, the U is silent. So Miami Bice is coming on for the Angels, and he's got a pretty good-sized endurance coming out of the bullpen. He can go 3 innings if need be. Oh, that's Minton. I want Bice. Bice can go 3 innings. They got a lot of guys that can go 3 innings. They must have used these guys for long stints because Finley can go 4 as a reliever. Lucas can go 3, and Minton can go 3. So they don't have any 1-inning guys out there, that's for sure. So Dwayne Bice will be called in from the California bullpen to try to stem the tide and keep the White Sox within shouting distance. On the real season, good morning, Dan. On the real season, Dwayne Bice was, I get it to show up here, 6-7 with a 3.39 ERA. 6-7, 3.39 ERA, and 17 saves. On the replay, 5-2 with a 2.89 ERA and 7 saves. 44 innings pitched, 26 hits, 15 walks, 54 strikeouts. And he is tasked to get out Ivan Calderon with 2 outs and a runner at first. And Baines, who does not run well at all. 4-9 for Calderon against Bison. He flies to center to end the inning, but 2 runs come in, so he can cap Royce at 4 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts. He's on the hook for the loss unless the Angels can do something. Good morning, Matt. So we go to the top of the 6th, 3-0 Pale Hose. DeLeon seemingly in control. He'll be facing Jones, Joyner, and Howell. Keep in mind the Angels do have Devon White and Doug DeSensei on the bench. So they could call on for pinch hitting later on once we get past the 7th inning. Here's Jones, 6-9, and that is a single 1-7, and the double die's a 1, so there you go. Single for Rupert Jones. I swear this thing comes up as a 1 more than 5%. I think it's been documented. It's got to be weighted somehow. Here's Wally Joyner. Jones not held, not going anywhere. Joyner, 5-8, and he struck him out. DeLeon strikeout number 4 as he gets Wally World to strike out. Something on the computer didn't go right, so let me figure out what happened on the computer so I can fix this because something's gotten out of whack. I am going to need to check something on the computer. I must have forgot to enter one of the results. So let me just take a quick look here in this previous inning. Royster doubled. Something happened. It's going all the way back to the third inning. Something happened in the third inning. What happened in the third inning? Walker lined out. Home run, single, pop up, ground out. So that's right. Guillen lines out. Double, single, single. Fly out, single. Wait a minute. Walker. Rita singled, Bain singled. Walker popped it up to the catcher. That's one I missed. I didn't put in Walker's pop up to the catcher in the previous inning. So let's go back to the previous top of the inning. So this won't take long to fix this. I don't think. At least I hope it doesn't. So Walker popped up to the catcher. Boone. Then there was the pitching change. And the pitching change applied to center for Calderon. Now top of the inning, Jones singles and a strikeout of Joyner. Now we're back in business. Didn't want to be out of sync there. All right, so Joyner strikes out, 1 out, runner at first, and here is Jack Howell. That's a 2-3 for Howell, and he will get a ballpark single check, 1-9, but that's going to fail, so he'll line it to second base. 2 down, and that's going to take us to Mark Ryle, right fielder. .38 for Ryle, and he flies to center to end the inning. So DeLeon cruising along through 6 innings, and the White Sox keep and maintain a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th. Bice back out. We'll face We'll face Fisk, Williams, not Fisk, Karkovice, Williams, and Hill. Karkovice, Williams, and Hill. And Karkovice actually got a hit last time up off the pitcher cards, which is what he has to have because he has no hits on his own card. So Karkovice against Bice. That's off the pitcher card again, 4-9, but this time he flies to center. 1 away. Ken Williams steps to the plate, 0 for 2. 4-5, and that's a split. 1-4 is a single, but that's a line out to Schofield at short, 2 down. 2 up and 2 down for Donnie Hill. He will turn around, bat left-handed now. 4-6, and that's a strikeout for Bice, and that will end the inning. So we go to the 7th, and still 3-0, and this will be the fatigue inning for DeLeon. He does have a 7 for his fatigue, so keep track of that, monitor that situation. Right now, Bob Boone steps to the plate. Sorry, couldn't hit the mute button fast enough for that one. I'm fighting it, but we're pushing through. Okay, 6-9. 1's a single, and else he lines to short, so he lines it to Guillen. 1 away. 1 down for Dick Schofield. Now, pinch hitting is allowed because we're in the 7th inning, but right now, they're going to stick with who they've got. 6-9 again. Same result. Line out to short. So 2 line outs to short to start the inning. Here's Gary Pettis. 3-5 for Pettis. Struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for DeLeon, so he will keep full endurance into the 8th inning. 7th inning stretch time. Bice back out. Be facing Guillen, Royster, and Reedus. That time I was able to hit the mute button fast enough, so that was good. All right, here's Gian. 0 for 2. Oh, it's a leaner, so we're going to re-roll that. 4-3, lefty. Ground ball pitcher X. He's a 13, and the computer says he's a 3E13 for Dwayne Bice. 3E13. 3 and an 18 is good all day long. E13 and a 10 as a pitcher. There's an 11. There's an 11 and a 13, but no 10. So Bice is able to make that play. Ian is retired, 1 away. Then I'll bring up Royster. Doubled twice in this game, 2 for 3. But those were all against Royce. Now he's facing the righty. 2-8, and he strikes out. Big difference there as Bice gets his second strikeout. And now that's going to bring up Gary Reedus. He is 1 for 2. RBI and a run scored. 3-7 for Reedus, and he strikes out. So Bice gets his third strikeout. So we go to the 8th. Still a 3-0 White Sox lead. Angels can't break the Jose DeLeon code as they're unable to figure him out. McLemore is your scheduled leadoff hitter. They're going to pinch hit for McLemore. They got to try to get some offense. So California will go to their bench, and they will bring on Devon White to pinch hit. So Devon White is your pinch hitter for McLemore. Devon White, 263 hitter in the real season. On the replay, Devon White is hitting 287, 13 homers, 45 driven in. So Devon White will pinch hit there, and then we'll figure out who's going to play second in the bottom of the inning. Right now, they're not worried about that. They need offense. So Devon White is in against Jose DeLeon. 1-9 for White, and that's a 1-3 triple, and that's a 2, a pinch hit triple for Devon White. Thank you very much. Yes, I know this is the best managed channel you can get, not like the other screaming channel. You want good managing, you come here. That's a pinch hit triple for Devon White. And he has excellent speed, obviously. So here's Brian Downing, back to the top of the order. Infield is back with a 3-0 lead. They need an out. 5-9, and that's a ground ball second base C. They will certainly concede the run to get that out. RBI ground out from Downing. His 53rd RBI of the season. But scoring is Devon White. Cuts the lead to 3-1. 1 out and the bases are cleared now for Rupert Jones. 2-3 for Jones. Pops him up to Donnie Hill. 2 down. And that'll send up Wally World. He is the tying run at the plate is Wally World. Although he is 1 for 3. 4-6, and that's going to be a walk. And now DeLeon might be losing it just a hair. So the bullpen for the White Sox, which is not that great, is loosening. Bob James, their closer, and Ray Searage, a lefty, both are loosening in the bullpen. You got a lefty, Jack Howell, coming up. But if you bring in a lefty, they will move to Sensei into pinch hits. So let's see if we're going to go. DeLeon is not tired officially yet. He's going to keep going. Runner at first in Joyner. Howell. Joyner, of course, not going anywhere. Howell, 6-4, and that is a ballpark single check, 1-9. That is a 6 base hit for Jack Howell. And that'll bring up Ryle. But if they bring in a lefty, they're going to bring in a right-handed pinch hitter, so pick your poison there. DeLeon has now reached fatigue. And so with Mark Ryle coming up, the Angels, or the White Sox rather, will go to their bullpen. And they will go to Bob James. He was their closer. Bob James. So DeLeon's going to go 7 2/3 innings. And we'll fill in the rest later. So let's bring in from the bullpen Bob James. Let's see what he can do out of the bullpen. James was 4-6 with 10 saves and a 4.67 ERA in real world. In the replays, 1-2 with 9 saves, but an ERA of 6. 24 innings pitched, 29 hits, 8 walks, 16 strikeouts. So Bob James is in to face Mark Ryle. 2 outs, clutch situation for Ryle. And in the clutch, he is neutral. But he's got some ballpark blast here, so got some pop against righties, so we're going to leave him in there. James facing Ryle, I should say. 1-5 for Ryle, grounds it to short, and that's going to do it. Closed the book now on DeLeon and gave up the 1 run, and that was it. And let's see what else he gave. 7 hits, and he walked 2, striking out 5. And James is in now to try to close the deal. He got the last out of the 8th. Now he's trying to close the deal for the 9th. See, Karkovice's arm, I get his hold rating. James is a +2. Karkovice, though, is a -2, so it makes him a 0. And forgot to put in for Bice as well. So let's put in Bice. Bice is a +1. Boone's a -3, so he's a -2 on the hold. All right, so James gets out of the jam. Go to the bottom of the 8th, 3-1 White Sox. And the Angels need a new second baseman since they pinch hit for McLemore. So we'll go to their bench and see who they can pull out to play second base. Looks like Gus Polidor will play second base. So Polidor will take over at second base for the Angels. And he will bat in the number 9 spot, formerly held by McLemore. Polidor is right there. Second base in the 8th inning. All right. Bice back out. He'll be facing Baines, Walker, and Calderon as we head to the bottom of the 8th of a 3-1 ball game. Harold Baines, 1 for 3. 2-6 for Baines. That's a triple 1-4, double 5-20. So a leadoff double for Harold Baines off of Bice. And here comes Greg Walker. Do they stick with Bice? They got righties coming up right after Walker, so they're going to stick with Bice. 4-8, left-handed, struck him out. Didn't hit the mute button fast enough. So 4th strikeout for Bice. Brings up Calderon. 6-7, and that's going to be a single 1-4. That's an 11, so he lines it to short, 2 down. So 2 outs, and that will send up in the clutch Bob Boone. Rather, Karkovice. I keep forgetting Karkovice came in for the injured Boone. So it's actually Karkovice. I mean, for the injured Fisk. So it's actually Karkovice who's in the game. Do we pinch run for Baines is the question. Because Baines is not very fast. So let's see who the White Sox have on the bench that can run. They have Darryl Boston can run. So they're going to pinch run with Darryl Boston. He will pinch run for Baines here in the 8th inning. So let's look at Darryl Boston, get his card out. Boston runs at a 16. Baines runs at a 9. So if we get a single without any stars, that's going to come into play. Ron Karkovic, you can't pinch hit for him. He's a good defensive catcher, so you wouldn't want to take him out anyway. But, I mean, there are no other catchers, so he's going to have to hit. But both of his results have come off the pitcher card so far, so he might get lucky. You never know. He just might get lucky here. So Boston takes over as the runner at second base for Harold Baines, and he'll stay in the game as a DH. Clutch situation for Karkovic. He has no clutch rating. 3-6 for Karkovic, and it struck him out. So Bice gets the strikeout, and that's going to be a nice thing for Bice. Bice is done. And he went 3 1/3 innings, did Bice. And he's going to strike out 5, not walk anybody, just give up the 1 hit and no runs. Quite the relief outing there. And now Bob James looking to close it out here in the top of the 9th. So we have Polidor scheduled. No, I'm sorry, we got Boone scheduled, followed by Schofield, Pettis, and Polidor. Those are the scheduled hitters. They still have Doug DeSensei on the bench. Let's see who else they have on the bench. They have DeSensei, Weiniger, and George, and the old man George Hendrick. So you got a couple of choices there you could go to if they so desire. No, Dan, it's just a straight out cold. It's just straight out. I've been coughing. It's about the 3rd day I've had this. I'm hoping by Sunday it's gone, but it's just a pain right now. It's more of a pain than my trigger finger and my ring finger there. All right. Bob Boone. Do they pinch hit for Boone? He's a 242 hitter. So they're going to pinch hit for Boone, Will California. And they will go with Butch Weiniger, I think. No, he's a terrible hitter. He's a switch hitter, but he's still terrible. So they're going to go with the big guy, George Hendrick. Hendrick will pinch hit for Boone. And if it goes to the bottom of the 9th, Weiniger would catch. So George Hendrick will be coming on for Bob Boone to try to get something started for the Angels. Old man George hit 241 with 5 homers, 25 RBI on the real season. On the replay in 34 at bats, he's only hitting a .147, no homers, 3 driven in. Good morning, Jim. Top of the 9th, 3-1 Chicago. Hendrick pinch hitting for Boone against the closer Bob James. That's a 210 for Hendrick, and that's a ballpark single check. And that's a 9. That's a base hit. So there you go. Hate to be redundant, but that's 2 pinch hitters and 2 pinch hits on this channel. All right, here's Schofield. He is the tying run. Schofield, a 251 hitter, so he's pretty good, even though he is 0 for 3. Hendrick, of course, no threat to run whatsoever, and he's not the tying run, so his speed's pretty much irrelevant. 4-4, and that is a ground ball third base X. We are looking at Howell, a 3E16. I'm sorry, third base is Royster, 4E20. 4E20 for Royster. 4 1/13, he may get to that. He should get to that. At least a G3, if nothing else. 4 1/13 is a G3, so the runner's going to advance. That's an 11, and he is an E20 at third base. E20, but there's an 11 right there. E20, there's an 11 right there. So Royster boots it, gets nobody out, much less getting out at first. He didn't get anything. E5. And now first and second, nobody out for Gary Pettis. And Pettis isn't, you would think he would be a better bunter, but he's not. That's the problem. If you wanted to pinch hit, your only options available are Butch Weiniger And who's the other one available? Butch Weiniger. Who's the other one up there? DeSensei. DeSensei and Weiniger are the only options there. So I guess they'll go ahead and go with Pettis. He's not a good bunter, though. You would think he would be. He's only rated as a C bunter. So I can't bunt when it's that bad. I don't know, Kathy. It's indoor. I think I got it from the missus when she came from work. I think she picked it up at work and brought it home. So I don't know. All right, so I'm in a bit of a quandary here because I really want to bunt to get the tying runs in scoring position, but he's only a C bunter. That's just not very good. So we're going to have Pettis swing away, I guess, begrudgingly. Hello, ID. Pettis 1-7, and he struck him out. So at least he didn't hit into a double play. I guess that's some modicum of being happy here. Gus Polidor. Gus Polidor gets his first at bat since coming in defensively for Macklemore. Polidor hitting 242 on the replay. No homers, 2 driven in. He at 263 real world. First and second, 1 out, top of the ninth, 3-1 Chicago trying to hold this lead with Bob James, their closer, in. 5-11, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-9. That's going to fail, so he will line it to short. Angels down to the last out, which is Brian Downey. Downey is 0 for 4, but he's still a dangerous hitter. He hit 272 real world with 29 home runs. So even though he's 0 for 4, he's still dangerous. It is a clutch situation, so in the clutch, he loses a couple of hits here, 2-5 and 2-6 against right-handers. A clutch at bat for Downing. If he goes deep, the Angels take the lead. And if they lose, they'll drop a game to the A's, who already beat Cleveland yesterday. 5-9, and that is a fly to center, and that's going to do it. Ball game is over. White Sox hold on and beat the Angels by the score of 3-1. Losing pitcher is Royce. He's 0-1. DeLeon improves to 7-7. Bob James picks up save number 10. That's exactly what he had in the replay. The actual season was 10 saves. Inning in the third, and he gave up a hit, nothing else, and he struck 1 out. So we'll go ahead and get the totals and get you ready for tomorrow's game between the top 2 teams in the American League East, Milwaukee and Toronto, from Milwaukee County Stadium. So we go to the box score and see what is what. 3 runs, 8 hits, and an error for Chicago. 1 run, 8 hits, and no errors for the Angels. Winning pitcher DeLeon, 7-7. Losing pitcher Royce, 0-1, and save number 10 by Bob James. Player of the game, I think you had to give it to DeLeon. He went 7 2/3, only gave up 1 run. So to me, he's got to be your player of the game. Nobody for the White Sox really stood out that much offensively. So I think we'll give it to DeLeon. But tomorrow, I hope so. I hope I feel better as soon as possible, but I don't know. I'm day-to-day. I'm not on the disabled list. I'm day-to-day, so I'm going to play every day. I am not on the disabled list yet. I am still day-to-day. So tomorrow, plan on me being here. It'll be the Milwaukee Brewers taking on and hosting the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow. Milwaukee holds a 2-game lead over Toronto for first place in the American League East. Great pitching matchup. Jimmy Key for Toronto. Jimmy Key on the replay. Let's get his numbers. Let's see here. Let's go this way. Let's get the numbers on Jimmy Key on the replay because he is right now the front runner for the Cy Young Award. He is 14-1 with a 1.66 ERA in 16 starts. He's completed 8 of his 16 starts. 3 of them have been shutouts. 130 innings pitched, 91 hits 28 walks, 92 strikeouts. So he will be on the mound for the Blue Jays, and on the mound for the Brewers will be Bill Wegman, and he's no slouch himself. He's 8-1 with a 3.16 ERA in 15 starts. So good pitching matchup from Milwaukee. And again, 2 games separate the Brewers and the Blue Jays in the American League East. Yankees are 7.5 back, and Detroit is 9 back. With this loss, California drops 7 back of Oakland, and Chicago climbs into a 5th place tie with Seattle, 10 games back. So pretty much the A's are surprisingly running away with everything. But there's still a long season to go. We haven't even got to the All-Star break yet, so anything is liable to happen. So tomorrow, we're looking for that. Friday, we'll be in Texas. It'll be the Minnesota Twins taking on the Texas Rangers. And that pitching matchup from Texas will be Frank Viola against Bobby Witt. So that should be a pretty decent matchup. Frank Viola and Bobby Witt will be the matchup on Friday. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great day, whatever you have planned. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And we will see you all down the road.